Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
No, I shouldn't take my coffee for the intro. Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia Season 8, the final season, Episode 10. Not the final episode, we still have 2 episodes to discover, including this one. It's gonna be one more bonus episode, like really since the end of the final fight, since the end of everything. I'm really enjoying each of these 3 final episodes, 3 epilogue episodes, like it's bonuses that the writers, that this studio is giving to the viewers. I have the impression that it's a gift, it's a Christmas gift that they're giving to us. I have the impression that it's a reward, you know, for all of the time that we spent with this anime, all along all of these seasons, all of the OVAs, all of the movies. If you didn't know, I reacted to all of them, and you can find all of my reactions and my thoughts to them with everything into the chronological order, into the playlist, and I'm gonna put right there the link for the playlist. Really, we spent such a long time with this show that finishing with 3 epilogue episodes, it feels like a reward and like a gift. It's something that we can't have in other shows, in other animes, in nothing. Like if you think about a lot of different animes, like for example Attack on Titan, we didn't have 3 epilogue episodes, like no. And for a lot of shows, it's also the same. Normally when you have the final fight against the big boss, you're lucky if you have 10 minutes, you know, of epilogue after that final fight. You're considering yourself as lucky if you have these 10 minutes of epilogue. So right there, to have 3 episodes, it's amazing. And the previous one was amazing, and I was disturbed because, you know, when I was like, okay, in fact we can have 3 final episodes, you know. Okay, so in fact we can have 3 epilogue episodes. What can it be? Okay, maybe a graduation, it would be great. Maybe a big discussion, you know, between Deku and All Might. Maybe a big discussion between Deku and Bakugo. You know, I was imagining stuff like that. Everything happened during the previous episode. All of the things, you know, that I wanted, I had them during the previous episode. Maybe just I miss Eri singing to all of them. A moment Deku Eri, a moment Deku Ochaco, maybe as well. But for the rest, I have no ideas about what they're gonna do. 2 episodes, 2 times, you know, 20 minutes. I don't know, for me, it means that we're gonna have a closure for each characters. I would appreciate, in fact, to have a time jump and to be into the future and to see what's the lives, you know, of all guys, all students are gonna be once, you know, they're gonna be out of school, and how it's gonna be, the heroes, you know, and adults that they're gonna be. Maybe it can be something like that. I would appreciate something like that. And if not, yes, I think that just we're gonna see a little of each character. But see, we already had something about also the Todoroki's family. We already had something even about fake French guy, you know, Aoyama, and stuff like that. So I even have trouble to imagine which character do we miss, if not all of the students, you know, one by one. Deku and his mom? Maybe we can have something about Deku and his mom? I don't know. But see, I'm a little lost about what we're gonna have during these 2 episodes, so during this one. But I'm just glad, I'm just happy to be here. It was unexpected, and I'm taking everything like a bonus, and I'm taking everything with a big smile, and I'm just excited, glad, happy, proud, like, again, it feels like Christmas gifts, like, you know, these Christmas movies that you have during the afternoon. You know, I'm taking them really like that, like, what it's gonna be. So let's go to see it. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon on which you have for this entire season, these reaction videos 1 day earlier, and you have them with the full reaction part, my reactions and my thoughts to the entire episode in full opacity, it's with the level 3. If you're watching this video, we're about, you know, to discover the end of this anime. You can come on my Patreon, maybe if you want to binge watch everything, so you're gonna have in fact all of these full reaction part videos, you know, for all of the seasons into my Patreon, and you can give your support on my Patreon, maybe to thank me for all of the time that we spent together, even if it's just one time, you know, it can be truly appreciated. I'm a little reactor, so each help is appreciated, if you want and if you can, for sure. Don't put yourself into any difficulty for that, please. Let's go, guys! Let's go for this episode. And remember also that on YouTube you have only the intro and review part on this video, but you have the reaction part into the description for the YouTube version. I'm still respecting on that YouTube version, you know, of the reaction part, I'm still respecting the fair use rules, meaning that I'm making cuts, I'm playing with opacity, I'm still being respectful with that, so if you want really more, it's on my Patreon. Let's go, guys. Why just me? A destroyed place? Like, why just me who survived? Why just me who... and something dark coming out of your hand? That's it, we're gonna have a new shigaraki. It's just to tell us that it's infinite, in fact, it can never end. A new big villain is gonna come to replace the last one. And, you know, it's also the story with Spinner right there, the fact that people who are desperate, people who are feeling desperate, people who are isolated, people who had a really bad life and feel sad, mad, angry, you know, like, if they have a figure telling them, you can fight that and you can join me, we're gonna change everything, even if it's in a violent way, they're gonna follow that person. At least there is a risk for them to follow that person, because that person is giving them hope, and that person is in fact gonna become their hero. The leader of the villains, it's also the hero of the villains. Do you understand what I mean? Because them, they don't consider themselves as villains, they consider themselves as the normal ones, and they have their hero that they follow, who is their leader. Right there, you know, Spinner, he was glad that Deku shared that message, but it was also really mad that Deku killed Shigaraki, because he saw Shigaraki as an hero, but also as a friend, also as just a human being. All of what he said, you know, about these video games that Shigaraki loved, that they loved to play together, it's really about that, like, you killed him because he was a leader of the villains, but for me, he was just a normal human being doing normal stuff with whom I had fun. It was one of my best friends, and it was also someone who gave me hope. It was someone who pushed me to become better in the sense, you know, for his powers, maybe to use his powers more and stuff like that. And it was my hero, so that moment I loved to have it, you know, between Deku and Spinner. It was a promise that Deku made, so I'm glad that it was respected. The fact that Spinner is not changing his mind, is not suddenly switching, it's totally logical. The fact that he's gonna make a book, maybe more, you know, in fact a comic book, a manga about it, okay, why not? That was a way also for the writers, that sentence about it's better when you have pictures, because in fact you can share it with the entire world, it's better, you know, to be understood by everyone. It's also a little wink wink about the original manga about My Hero Academia and also this anime. We had news about La Brava, we had news about a lot of things like that, that's cool. Ochaco, at first I didn't understand what was happening, I thought that she was in pain, in fact, that maybe something happened during the fight that we didn't see for her, or maybe in fact what we had of her at the end of her fight, we thought that she was okay, you know, that being at the hospital resolved all of that, and in fact no. But no, in fact she was not in physical pain, she was really mentally in pain because she was still with that guilt about I should have done everything that I could to save her, I'm alive because someone is dead, that's awful, I should have found a way. That's a guilt that she's gonna keep for a long time, and you know, Deku is not really telling her, no, it's wrong, you know, like, that guilt, you can't really take it out of someone's shoulders. But all of the maybes about maybe things could have been different if we would have known them sooner, you know, as kids and stuff. Yes, surely. And that I'm saying it since so long about the fact that shigaraki, like all of the other ones, they took that path also because they were really isolated and they had no chance in life at any moment for someone who maybe opened their hearts to something different, to something more sweet, to something more normal, you know, and nice, like just to something else. Deku and Ochaco, you know, the beating hearts, I was like, each time it's about the other one, about them paying attention to the other one, what the fuck is happening? Deku can find Ochaco here because he remembers that they had their discussion here, because he knew that she was surely lying, and no matter what, he didn't want to take any risk, you know, about letting her all alone because he felt that something was wrong with her. That it was already big. Then the fact that he reassured her, the fact that she exploded into his arms, you know, she cried that much, she felt that she could tell him everything and finally feel everything that she needed to feel, that she needed to get out, you know, of her mind, to say it out loud. She said it to him and he was reassuring her and all. It was so sweet, it was so cool. You know me, I'm against characters, you know, confessing their love or having their first kiss during a moment of weakness, because most of the time it's a girl crying and the guy is taking that opportunity to kiss the girl. But right there, I'm considering that as different because we know in fact that Ochaco has feelings for him since a long time. She was clear about it since a long time, so I would have been okay to have that kiss, finally. And we were that close to have it. That fucking close. If the others would not have come, like when they appeared, I was mad at them. Even if in fact it's nice because they all thought the same, knew the same, but no! That close. We were that close. Oh, Deku feeling the flame like that. And at the end we have Aoyama's party with Eri singing. That's the last thing that I had on mind about maybe what we could have during this epilogue episode. I'm sorry about that sound, I don't know where it's coming from. That's the last thing that I wanted because that was the last promise left about what can happen into the future. Now I really don't have any idea about what can happen in the future episode, in the next and really final episode, final epilogue episode. It's a total blank page for me. Like, you know, I told you during the intro, the only things maybe left, it's Eri singing, something about Ochaco and Deku. That's it. Now maybe a jump into the future with our guys being heroes, how they're gonna end all of them. We even had something about the fact that the first years they admire our guys, in particular Todoroki and Bakugo, they have fans, and in particular girls fans, but they are too shy. I prefer for them to not take advantage of it. That was a sweet episode, that was also an emotional episode and I did not expect it. And yes, the moment with Ochaco and Deku, they had me. They totally had me during it. I think that at some point I took my pillow and I did that, no? I think that I did it. They totally get me. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there this review, and next time that I'm gonna see you, it's gonna be the last time for My Hero Academia, for the last and final episode of this season, of this anime. I'm gonna say goodbye to these guys for good next episode. I'm not sure I'm ready to say goodbye to them for good, and at the same time, again, it's such a privilege to have 3 episodes, 3 epilogue episodes, to say goodbye, to have news about them, to know everything. That's such a privilege, so I'm not mad, you know. Okay, it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine?
Hey.